Story 1. My son is really upset. Well, too bad. The cat is going to an indoor-only home, and it's not yours. We've been trying to rehome a friendly stray cat to an indoor-only home due to safety concerns, coyotes, busy roads, and a highway. A neighbor showed interest but kept bringing up how her 2-year-old is attached to the cat while refusing to commit to keeping him indoors. When I explained the cat needed to stay indoors, she said things like, "We'll try to keep him in if he likes it. We'll probably let him be indoor/outdoor, just bring him in at night. My 2-year-old loves him, and we've been feeding him for months. So have a lot of other neighbors." I kept telling her the cat needed to be indoor only, but she wouldn't commit and was incredibly pushy, so I reluctantly gave in. After spotting more coyotes around, I had a change of heart and decided to rehome the cat with someone who would actually keep him safe. When I told her, she completely lost it. "Wow, okay. That really wasn't your decision to make. You agreed and then went behind our back." My son is extremely upset. We would have kept him indoors if that's what he wanted. I'm so disappointed in how this was handled. I don't give a flying fuck about her 2-year-old son's attachment to the stray cat. This neighbor is fucking exhausting. Edit. Great news. The cat is going to be placed in a cage-free rescue at the end of December. I responded with the following and then she blocked me. Lol, we asked multiple times if you'd commit to keeping the cat indoors only, and you didn't, as shown in the screenshot. You implied he'd be indoor/outdoor, which isn't safe with coyote sightings. Transitioning a stray to indoor only requires dedication. This decision was about the cat's safety, not your toddler's attachment. Also, when we were initially talking, nobody was in possession of the cat. The entitled parent/neighbor said regardless, they were going to let the cat into their home. I ended up finding and housing the cat first. The coyotes were recent, after the initial convo, and we did try to reach out to see if they changed their mind on the indoor/outdoor situation, but they didn't. Story 2. The time an entitled mom tried to reserve my cat for her kid's birthday. So, I, 18F, have a very fluffy, very adorable cat named Mochi. He's basically my little buddy, and he's got one of those Instagram accounts where I post his funny antics, so a lot of people in my neighborhood know about him. Including this one mom I'll call EM, who has a 6-year-old daughter super into cats. No biggie, right? One day, EM messages me on Instagram, saying her daughter is absolutely obsessed with Mochi and asking if I could bring him to her daughter's birthday party the following weekend so the kids can play with him. I politely decline, explaining that Mochi doesn't do well in new environments and would likely hide or freak out around loud kids. EM's response? "Well, can you loan him to us for the day?" Yes, she literally wanted me to just hand over my cat as if he were a library book or something. She promised they'd take good care of him and even offered to pay me $20 for the inconvenience. I politely refuse again, saying that Mochi isn't up for loan, and I don't think it would be safe or comfortable for him. EM immediately switches tactics, calling me selfish and accusing me of gatekeeping joy from her daughter. She rants about how it's just one day, and I owe it to the community because I flaunt Mochi's photos online. Now I'm getting irritated. I tell her that my cat isn't an accessory, and he's definitely not something I owe to the neighborhood. I assume that's the end of it. Until the day of the party. I'm in my apartment when I hear a loud knock at my door. It's EM and her daughter, with the girl holding a sparkly cat carrier. EM smiles and says, "Oh, we came to pick up Mochi." She acts as if we had agreed on this and just expected me to hand him over on demand. Completely stunned, I tell her, "I never agreed to this, and I'm not giving you my cat." EM's smile drops instantly, and she launches into this loud, dramatic rant about how I'm ruining her daughter's special day and that I shouldn't show off my cat if I don't want to share. Her daughter starts tearing up, and EM gives me this accusing look, like I've just broken her kid's heart on purpose. My neighbor down the hall actually poked her head out to see what was going on, which was enough for EM to grab her daughter and storm off, yelling, "I'll make sure everyone knows how selfish you are." Later, I found out from mutual friends that she spread a story around the neighborhood that I baited her daughter with Mochi, only to withhold him out of spite. No one really believed her, but she still gives me the dirtiest looks anytime I pass her. Mochi? Completely oblivious and unbothered, living his best life as usual. Edit, the cat has passed away. Sorry, don't ask for cat tax out of respect. I do love my late cat and I wanted to relive an old memory, so that's why I'm writing this. Story 3. Parents forbade me from getting a haircut my whole childhood. I got my hair cut as an adult and my mom judged me for it. I was forced to have very long hair. I was told it was because my mother said her mother forced her to keep her hair short and she said it traumatized her. I honestly felt like Rapunzel with my long-ass blonde hair and not being allowed to change it. I told my mom when I was a teenager that I was sick of my long hair and I wanted to change. She said absolutely not. I decided to get my hair cut and donate the hair to charity. My mom crapped all over the idea, saying I was going to regret it and have a mental breakdown over the change. I was an adult but I didn't have enough money for a car so I needed a ride. I asked my mom for a ride and my mom refused. So I got my dad to drive me. She acted like I was going to get an abortion. She was so unhappy. When I got home with my new hair, she never once gave me a compliment. She barely looked at me. I loved my new hair too much to care what she thought, but it was shocking for a woman in her 60s to get petty because I chose to do something for myself. She thinks she owns my hair. I wonder if she never said anything about my hair because she was mad she was wrong and that I had no regrets. Everyone else liked my hair. My dad wasn't happy with the idea but grew to accept it. Story 4. Should I keep putting my foot down against my mother who wants to track my phone?
I, F28, have a very overprotective mother.
I also travel a lot for work. Well, my job had me coming into town so my mom could see me. I had a meeting after at the time I said I was done and texted her. She kept calling me during the whole meeting, despite me sending a message that I couldn't talk because I was in a meeting. When I'm finally done and about to call her, another coworker tells me that my mom is looking for me. She had came down to the place I was working, wandering the outside looking for me. When I called her, she said she was in tears and worried over me. The next day she asks if she can install an app to track my cell phone. I told her that I didn't feel comfortable with that and had hoped she would leave it at, but she kept pushing it until I said no. She keeps trying to coax me into getting it, saying things like I'll use it for emergencies. I said that was a slippery slope and I know her, and it's going to reach a point where just emergencies turn into full-blown tracking my every movement. She also argued that she's getting better at not being so protective because she's going to therapy, and I told her how about she asks her therapist what they think about her tracking me. At this point she keeps bringing it up and I'm growing tired. I'm wondering I should give in and put an end to harassment. But at the same time I feel like that's enabling her. I don't know what to do anymore to put an end to this.